lot of you guys know, we recently moved into our new place that I'm sitting in right now. The space that we live in really affects the way that we feel. It can make a big difference in our mood throughout the day to have a space that we really love and feel comfortable and at home in. And I get a lot of comments both on Instagram and in real life about my decorating abilities and being able to make a house look cute and homey. There's so many things I picked up along the way about how to make a house look good that I want to share with you today, just because I think that they could help you. I'm not professing to be perfect at this or an expert, but these things just kind of took me a while to figure out, which is why I want to share them with you. I really hope that they help you guys. We are very thoughtful about the money that we spend, and I never pay full price for anything, so I'm going to be following up this video with a video about how to save money on decorating your house. I have so many different ideas and tips and things that I have done to decorate our new place that I'll be sharing with you in that video, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see that one, because that one will be coming up soon as well. Also, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Kaylin. I normally don't do a ton of decorating videos like this, but I've been getting a lot of questions about it, and I just knew it could help at least some of you guys out there, which is why I'm doing it, so let me know if you enjoy it. So without further ado, I'm just going to share with you the basics of decorating a space and figuring out what to do with the room that you have in front of you. So the way I look at decorating or furnishing a space, these are my priorities. I want it to be very functional, comfortable, I want it to look nice, and I want to achieve these things on a budget as well, which again, the budget aspect I'll go into in my next video and share all the tips in that video. I'll mostly be referring to the living space in this video. Our living room functions as the place where my daughter plays as well. We do not have a separate playroom for her, so it functions as a lot of things in our room, and I just think that is a common place for people to want to tackle, because that's the room that guests normally see or stay in as well, so it's a nice space to have more finished. But consider the things that are important to you and how you need the space to function in your day-to-day life. Are your kids in that space? Do you have kids as well that need to play in there, and what ages are there? How many people are you going to be having over, and do you need to accommodate in that space? I'm just going to use our little room as an example. We actually don't even have a couch in this room, but we do have a day bed that functions as a couch, and it's nice and comfortable. So I make a list of the things you're going to use the room for, just so you have that in mind, because you need it to actually be functional. It doesn't matter how cute a space looks. If it's not functional, what's the point? And then also, if things aren't functional and things don't have a home, it's just going to get really messy and crazy and cluttered quickly if you don't have a sort of system in place. My next tip would be to think about a few words that describe the overall feel or look you want your space to have. These words will help you and guide you in choosing things that you're going to include in your room. For instance, I would say that the main things that I wanted this room to embody was I wanted it to be light and bright, but also cozy and comfortable. So not like light and bright and sterile and minimal. And I also like the whole bohemian look, but that look can easily be very busy and cluttered feeling. So I would say a more minimal, bohemian, and also just a little bit beachy feeling. I wouldn't say our house is super beachy, but we live near the beach. But I guess my point is I want our home to embody kind of the area that we live in and fit in that area, if that makes sense. Not that you have to do that, but some of you out there live in a farmhouse or a craftsman house or all these other types of houses in these different communities. And I think it is fun to kind of fit the house that you live in, if that makes sense. To kind of embrace your house and decorate with your house and your setting. But that's just kind of a personal idea. That's not super important. My main thing is just to have words, just a vision of the things that you like. And if you don't even know where to start, well, I'd recommend this either way, but definitely go on Pinterest or any other site like that. I'm not a big Pinterest user, but doing stuff with my home is something that I will go on it for, just for ideas and to kind of get an idea of how to put things together in my house. So I definitely recommend that. I would search whatever you're looking for. For me, it was small house, minimal boho, or I would search things like that and see what would come up, and I would start saving the different things that I liked. And then once you have a collection of pins of, you know, let's say your living room space that you're trying to redo, try and look at those spaces and see what you like about them. I mean, it could be as simple as they have no clutter and your living room is totally cluttered and a total disaster. But besides that, just the stylistic elements, try and figure out what you like. Maybe there's just this one piece of furniture that's showing up in all of them, like the same coffee table, you know what I mean, or the same look to the curtains, or the same look to the pillows on the couch, because that will really help be your guidepost for the things that you want to include or omit in decorating your space. I would just like to say too, I'm not someone who wants to copy everything. I kind of hate the cookie cutter look when things are totally the same. I'm someone who, this is with me and everything in life, but I want things to be me. I want them to be different and have the flavor of me in them, you know what I mean? So don't feel like you have to copy these rooms, you know, to a T or anything like that. You want it to still have your personality, but sometimes we just don't even know what we like, and that's why it's important to figure out what kind of things we actually like. Okay, next I would look at your current space that you are trying to redo and try and figure out the things that you don't like. Try and articulate it. Maybe they're just like certain cluttered areas that you really need to have a better system for. There's always stuff and things that can accumulate and be cluttered in our house. So I think a big part in creating a space that you love is having a system for the ways that you need it to function, you know? For instance, I have all my daughter's toys, literally all of her toys besides her kitchen, which is outside in our living room. And we really have it under control and it feels so good. In our last space, things were a little bit everywhere. In every room, I felt like she just had toys everywhere. But here, it's literally all assigned to one bookcase. And we just have different baskets in it and then some books, and we just have baskets of different activities and things that she loves. And I find that my daughter loves it, and she just loves even putting things away because it's so organized and she knows where to find things and where they go. And it has worked out so well for us, and it's so easy to clean up. Even though there's a bunch of stuff in there, it's just so easy to clean up because I know where everything goes. The same goes with other things like diaper bags or backpacks or school supplies or shoes, just the things that you're constantly bringing in and out of your house, or grocery bags. If those things don't have a home, they're just going to be everywhere. And I'm kind of jumping around here, but try and articulate the things that you don't like in your house. Maybe there are certain pieces of furniture that you really just want to switch up or mix up somehow. Maybe you don't like different things because they're really not functional at all. Just really try and critically look at the things in your house and consider the function that they're serving. If they're not serving a function, if they're just sitting there, I would get rid of them, especially if they have a surface, because surfaces are notorious for collecting clutter. I know I have this problem. Every surface in our house collects clutter. So the less surfaces, the better, and really finding a home for the things that tend to collect and become clutter so that you know where to actually put them away is really helpful. So consider what items you can get rid of altogether and that you don't need to replace, and then find the things that you want to replace. And then before you even replace them, I would just see, first off, if you can upscale in any way. There are different things that you can do to a lot of things just to make them look nicer, especially if you're on a tight budget. You don't have to go out and buy all new furniture or anything like that. Gosh, I have so many tips about budgeting I want to talk about, but we're just gonna have to wait till the next video for that one. Also, going back to having the vision board, I did talk about having your own style, not being afraid to mix things up, but also don't be afraid to buy exactly what you love. A lot of the stuff can obviously cost money, but there are little things that you can do over time to help kind of bring your space together more, whether it's buying a nice indoor plant or painting something that you already have into a brighter, fresher color and changing the hardware on it. I'm going to be going into more of those tips in my next video, but little things like that can really make a big difference and not cost you a lot of money. Yeah, they might cost you a little bit of time, but it can make a big difference. In this new place that we have, we switched out our living room rug. I'll insert a picture right now, but we used this kind of reddish bohemian rug that we had in our living room in our bedroom, and it's really nice in there. It warms it up, and I wanted something brighter for our living room just to keep it really bright. Our last living room was really dark, and I wanted this one to be brighter, which it already is just because of the light in here. But you guys, having kids, obviously we were not just gonna get a white shag rug, even though that might look really nice or whatever. We needed something that was gonna be practical and hide things, especially if you have a kid whose favorite food is blueberries and they always have blue fingers and little blue marks on their clothes. I just knew I needed a rug that would be able to handle 1 or 2 blueberry stains because I just feel like it's inevitable. So the rug we have, I like the print that it is. I also wanted something a little bit cushier than the last rug that we had because I'm sitting on the ground all the time playing with my daughter, just working. I just love sitting on the ground. So we have a little pad underneath this rug, and then it is thicker than our last rug. But I just love how it brightens up the space, but it also accommodates for stains because there's this design that's all over it. And I find that it's a bit of a statement piece in the room, but I really like it. And I feel like for me, that is a perfect example of where function meets style, as far as what I'm interested in terms of function and style. So that's what worked for us, and this was pretty affordable. It was $120, I believe, at HomeGoods, and we didn't buy much for our new place, but this has made a really nice impact in the room, and I really feel like that was worth $120 completely. As far as I'm concerned, it's really comfortable and it looks really nice in the room. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about that I think is really important, and I think a lot of us struggle with but may not be able to articulate, but it has been hard for me to get a hold of, is kind of figuring out scale and different scales of furniture and placement of things and how to get things like that to look good. If you look at most of the things on Pinterest that look good, there are things of different scale in the room, and scale is really important with the feel of a space and how it flows. In order to create a really nice space, generally there's furniture and even decor items of different scale. It's not like everything is the same size. size. It's nice to have a variety. It just creates a nice balance to a room. I feel like this part is kind of the trickiest part, and I don't think there's a formula per se to do it, which is why it's been something that I've struggled with. But the main idea is to have furniture that varies in sizes. So we have our large day bed, we have this chair that I'm sitting on now, we have kind of a lower coffee table, so we have things kind of different heights. And then with decor, we have this like poof ottoman thing, which I thought was a nice balance to the other sizes in the room. Sounds so confusing. But this gray also brings out the gray in the rug. You know, it's just kind of thinking about those little things like that. And with decor as well, it kind of works that way with the things that are hung on your wall. If everything is literally the same size on every wall in a room, it doesn't have a nice flow to it. But if you have like one bigger painting and then a few little things over here, that tends to create just a nicer flow to a space. Also lately it's been more trendy, I'd say, to have plants in your house, which I am such a fan of. They also have so many benefits just having houseplants in your house, like cleansing the air and whatnot. But honestly, you guys, it was my birthday recently and I spent my birthday money on plants for our house because I just find that they make me feel so good. My husband loves them too, but they really transform a space. So if you want a simple way to kind of spruce up your home and make it feel more homey, go buy a few houseplants that you really love. I just love the feel that they add to the space. They just make it feel really welcoming and homey to me and fresh. I just really love having houseplants. And the last thing that I want to touch on is texture. Having a variety of textures in your space. And more than that, natural materials tend to be more pleasant to be around. So as opposed to plastic and just more artificial things and artificial fabrics, things that have more life to them, like wood and stone and different fabrics and fluffy pillows, things like that, things that add dimension to the room. Having different textures like that will add a layer of depth to your room and also just kind of a layer of coziness to your room. If everything is kind of the same, for instance, our day bed, I don't know if maybe it's not real wood, but it looks like wood, so that's good enough. But it's that gray tone, and then we have this lighter, kind of warmer wood floor. We have the coffee table, which I covered in the twine. We have little side table that's metal. We have this soft kind of cream microfiber chair with the fur, and then we have the plants, and then we have like this woven thing which adds another texture. There's just a variety of texture. It's not like all of your furniture isn't just heavy wood furniture or whatever, you know what I mean? There's a variety of textures. That's why even just like a throw blanket over your couch can look really nice and make it look way more inviting. Please let me know if this was helpful to you at all or if you enjoyed this. I hope that it helped some of you out there and just kind of expanded your mind a little bit about thinking about how to decorate a space. Also, don't forget to keep a lookout for the video I'm going to do on decorating on a budget. I really think these tips will help you guys out. So when it is up, I'll link it down below in the description box so you can go ahead and check it out. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!